I know.
I mean, I think we're streaming.
Because this is perfect podcast material.
I think we're streaming.
Hi, everybody. It's so hard not to start like Dr. Nick every single time.
Just lean into it, man.
I think that's why I say hi, internet. Hello, internet, instead of hi, everybody. Because it's so hard to not say hi, everybody. I just say hello, internet.
I like
How are
it.
you today?
It's unique.
Are you guys ready for the emotional come down after our 200th episode special?
What? This is an emotional come up.
Oh yeah, I guess.
This is going to be even better than the last episode because we don't have to fuck around with all those other guest hosts.
Yeah, it's just you and me. Let it fly.
It's just me and Dale, the way it should be.
Where Dale talks about how much he's in love with Zelensky.
Do you want to do your catchphrase before we get rolling on the fucking
what catchphrase?
Hello, internet.
I already said it like 6 times.
Yeah,
bro.
but like actually say it. Don't say it as you're referencing.
Okay, shut up for a sec. Hello, internet.
Hey, internet. Welcome to episode 201 of Outrage Factory.
Yep.
We are the podcast where we look at the things that made people mad online this week and explain why they're dumb for caring. I'm your co-host, Eric Bolin.
And I am your other co-host, Dale DeRuiter.
Okay.
So
slow news week.
Derek, did you hear what happened?
No,
it was
Dale.
sultry dress night at the SAG Awards.
More like the Perk Awards.
Oh, yeah. It's as I was quickly looking for anything on this podcast to talk about that wasn't war, because I could talk about war for an hour and a half, but I figured we might as well pepper something else in. And then I just got this alert on Twitter, not alert, but it was like in the trending or whatever on Twitter. And it was like sultry dress trend. It's like this sultry dress trend dominated the SAG Awards red carpet. And it's basically all of the women who were at the SAG Awards who were nominated wearing very cleavagey dresses, but it goes against cleavage because I feel like if I say cleavage, it just means the top, but like there's like full on bottom shelf too. And then like
Dale,
the middle shelf.
I feel like the perfect antidote to all the uncertainty and conflict that is currently plaguing the world is to hear you describe the different angles we can get an eye full of boob from. So please dive into it.
Awkwardly mansplaining breasts and dresses. that would be that's it. That's really all I wanted to say.
You got under boob, you got side boob, you got top boob, you got
what's the middle boob called? When you could see like the lines on, like, you know how side boob is usually from the outside?
Under boob. You talking about under boob?
Like that's like when the shirt doesn't go down far enough, but when you have like a super cut open dress and you could see the full form on the inside, what's that called?
Just a deep V. I get the same thing when I wear one.
The deep V. Deep V.
SAG Awards are the ones that nobody cares about, right? That's not even like a precursor to Oscar season.
It's turning into, they're all the ones that the ones don't. Yeah, SAG Awards Oscars, is the shameless pat yourself on the back because it's a Screen Actors Guild giving screen actors awards. So it's like if your union was like, hey, you did good. So yeah.
Who's your Oscars are coming up soon, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I put money, I gambled on
nice.
I put money on Don't Look Up to win Best Picture just because the odds were, I mean, I don't really think it's gonna win, but the odds were like crazy. I bet like $10 and it pays me like $800 if it wins Best Picture. So
it was a good movie. That's why I don't think it will win, because it was made by the same guy who did The Big Short, but it wasn't as like politically cutting edge as The Big Short. It was like, I don't know, it was a really good movie, but it was kind of like almost a ham-fisted like social commentary on COVID, where it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, so no, it was a ham-fisted social commentary on the environment.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was like on COVID, how like they had the right-wing people saying that it wasn't happening, and the left-wing people.
It could be anything at this
Mhm.
point. The reason I bet on it because I was like, well, like heavy-handed like message about something, which the Academy generally likes, and then it's also like maybe this will be the year that they're like, sure, whatever, we'll give fucking Netflix a fucking Best Picture award. We might as well get it out of the way. And
was that a Netflix original?
It was, yes.
Do you think the Oscars are done being pretentious? Like done enough with being pretentious that they don't give it to a foreign movie this year?
No.
Because it's been a foreign movie like for a bunch, hasn't it?
Well, I can't remember what it was last year. I remember the year before that was Parasite, which was fucking deserved.
I don't know. What else is nominated this year? I haven't paid any attention.
No fucking idea. I've barely seen movies this year. Like, what are the movies? I went and saw the Scream reboot. I went and saw Dune.
Oscar.
Dune's nominated.
That better. Well, that's not going to win because
that's not going to win.
It's the beginning of a trilogy. Maybe the third one will win. Maybe they'll do like Lord of the Rings when they'll just be like, okay, the third one's out. You're done. You're really done. Okay, here's all the awards.
We'll give you an award. They're rebooting Lord of the Rings, aren't they? Or remaking them?
They're doing a prequel series, I believe,
on Amazon Prime.
Is it a prequel or is it the Sarulaminian or the like
Cimmerillion?
Is that what it's called?
I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
Dwayne was the fucking big token guy.
He was the token guy.
He was the token guy. Nice.
Do you want to hear what is on nominated for Best Picture?
Sure.
We have Belfast. Never heard of it. Coda.
City. Wait, what was that second one?
Coda. It's probably something to do with music. Boo! I don't like music movies.
What the fuck?
Don't Look Up. That's pretty good. I saw it. Drive My Car. Never heard of. That was produced by Yamamoto, Teruhisha Yamamoto. So I'm thinking that might be a foreign movie. Dune, awesome. King Richard, Licorice Pizza. Ooh, I hope Licorice Pizza wins, so we can get in a huge fight on how to say licorice.
Wait, why are you pronouncing it like that?
Because I'm pronouncing it the way you're supposed to say it and not the way everybody says it. To prove my point, we're all going to fight over how you pronounce licorice.
Why are you saying it the way you were? Can you say it one more time, just in case people just tuned in? What the fuck are you doing?
I'm saying it the way it's spelled. What? It's spelled Licorrice.
Yeah, that's not how it's pronounced, licorice. Though.
And I want everybody to turn off this fucking podcast.
Well, yeah, that's
I'm just putting out.
I want to fucking tune out.
Semblance.
Licorice. I can't. It's not natural.
In my real life, I say licorice. Licorice. With an sh. Licorice. Yeah. Like if I'm Sean Connery.
Yeah.
I'm eating some licorice.
Yeah.
Licorice pizza.
Okay, keep going.
Nightmare Alley with Guillermo
Del Toro.
Yes, Guillermo. Wow, I didn't know that's how it's spelled. Like you say Guillermo, right?
You fucked up licorice, so I don't. Guillermo.
Dude, I could barely read, but I do it all the time on the podcast.
Guillermo Del Toro.
Because it's spelled
Guillermo.
It's spelled Guillermo instead of Guillermo. It's like quesadilla.
Don't.
The Power of Dog and West Side Story, which
remake.
Dog shit. Say right now, I'm refusing to watch because I don't like musicals.
Don't like
and that's
music.
my problem with the Oscars.
Don't like musicals.
Forever, musicals kept winning because people who vote for them aren't real life. Because who in real life who wasn't an actor in high school or college likes musicals?
Yeah, but those are the people who go into like
I know
stage or and stage has always kind of been viewed as like the more legitimate acting, and
which is terrible because it's worse acting than screen acting.
What I saw a musical.
Oh, Lorna Kennedy's a fan of musicals.
Yeah,
She popped into the comment. Is that the Scottish one I keep pissing off?
Yeah.
Oh,
the
shit.
Scottish one. Hi, Lorna. Thanks for joining us. And thanks for liking musicals. I like musicals because they're always like so much more ambitious. Like anybody can write a fucking script and have people say the words, but to write an entire like movie or play and then set it to music and then have singing and choreographed dancing instead of just speaking. Like, you know how much work we put into this podcast, which is next to none.
Are you saying you want me to sing?
Well, I'm just saying, imagine if, as part of our prep, we had to show up with original songs composed and sing and dance to them. You got to respect how much work goes.
Yeah, it's true. More work goes in. And it's funny because I was about to say musicals are garbage because nobody sings what they're doing in real life. But I constantly do that.
Yeah,
I'm always like,
Andrew
will say something to me and I will sing my reply. And it started out as I was trying to annoy her just because that's what people who are dating do. They try to annoy each other, but not annoy each other. It's like this weird game. And then I just like genuinely do it now.
I feel like this is how most things in your life start out. You're like, you do them as a bit just to annoy people. And then 8 months later, you're like, oh, fuck, I'm doing this unironically now. And I'm the guy who sings his responses to everyone.
Oh, that reminds me, as a joke, like there's a 63-year-old guy I work with. And one day I just like flipped him the bird. I was like, and now every time he sees me, he like flips me the bird and I laugh every single time because I'm like, that's somebody's grandpa and he's figuring me. And I'm like, that's a personal victory.
It is. All right. Do you want to talk so we did our little preamble with fucking movies and shit. Do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about some motherfucking war because like everybody keeps pointing out, they're like, why is this a big deal? We've been at war the whole time.
I want to point out, I'm not personally going to talk about the war. I'm going to talk about people's reactions to the war.
Well, that's a good cop out.
That's it.
I want to say, in my opinion, to me, this is a bigger deal than say Syria or Yemen or whatever, because this is the first time since I'm just going to sidestep that, Derek. This is the first time since World War II where an all-out war has been declared.
White Westerners.
And what that means is instead of attacking just military people or pulling an Obama special where you fire a Hellfire missile at one guy and you hit a couple, all-out war is when you also target citizens and
white Western citizens.
What was fuck? Okay, I got to look at my phone because there's a city that I'm just gonna say Putin instead of Russia because I think Putin's the only guy from Russia who's into this war. Everybody else is like pretty much against it. But Kharkiv. So today Putin attacked Kharkiv with missiles and shit, and that is purely a residential city. There's no military bases or like military infrastructure there. So that's what all out war means. It means you're not, it's like at the end of World War II when Germany started bombing London and then Britain started bombing like German cities like Dresden and stuff. Was Dresden a German city? Am I right there?
And it was firebombed into fucking oblivion.
Yeah, and also with Tokyo, they firebombed Tokyo. Do you want to hear something horrible?
You're saying this hasn't happened in modern times.
They haven't called all-out war.
Like Israel and Palestine, that wouldn't. No,
qualify. That's not declaring all-out war. That's not one country saying this is all-out war. We're gonna bring it to you. Israel and Palestine is like fighting over land, and like Israel's never been like, all right, we're going to take over Palestine all at once. Maybe they haven't. I just missed it. That's a very good point to bring up.
I mean, it's happened. And this is the thing that like fucking pisses me off. It is very much, I get the impression that people care more about this because they are white Westerners in Ukraine. I'm just going to say it. Like nobody really said shit about, people did say shit about, but you didn't see the outpouring of support. And that's fine. Like I'm not saying that we should care about the Ukraine less. And by the way, I want to go on the record, no matter what I say during this podcast, I want my feelings to be known because you have to do that now. Otherwise, you're a monster. fuck Putin and fuck imperialism and fuck demagoguery and people just trying to like grab more land for themselves. I'm opposed to all of that. It was funny, Dale. We're just like sitting around our living room yesterday, and Kate looks up and she's like, "Should we have that like showing right now?" And it was that fucking that nesting doll you got me with all the Russian leaders on it. So I have a big fucking Vladimir Putin Russian nesting doll just hanging out in my living room, and I was like, "Yeah, we can't." So I like turned it around so none of our neighbors could see it.
So full story, for Derek's birthday this summer, I bought him the Putin doll because I went to the cultural festival in Alberta or in Edmonton with my sister, and they had every country had like a little gift shop sort of deal, and I bought Derek the Russian nesting doll, and I bought myself a Putin like fridge magnet with him like has his like suit jacket over his shoulder and he's like looking back and smiling.
You couldn't find him shirtless on horseback?
No. And I bought both these things ironically because they're so ridiculous, they're funny. And like you, I saw that magnet like yesterday and I was like, ooh, that's not a good look. So I kind of like moved it to the back of the fridge.
Put it on the side of the fridge. Yeah.
I was like, should I throw this away? And I was like, I probably should have just thrown it away.
Yeah. So that's where I stand on the whole thing. But at the same, I'm annoyed. I'm just annoyed by social media, I think, in general.
Dude.
And I'm particularly annoyed with like everyone being like, oh my God, there's just some people who have like, they're tweeting and you can tell they have never fucking touched a history book in their lives because they're just like, this is the first time this has ever happened. And like the Ukrainian people are kicking some fucking ass right now. And there have been some like incredible showings of bravery from just normal citizens who want to get out there and defend their country. And it's also funny to see people who are regularly like, we need more gun control and gun laws, applauding the fucking Ukrainian government just like handing out fucking AK-47s to anyone who wants to defend the country.
And making Molotov cocktails, which I got to point out is the absolute worst way to die, getting lit on fire by alcohol. But like, I've noticed with you too, like all these like staunch anti-war, like lefties are like, we can't like have the States being the world police. They're all like calling for people to go in and just eradicate Russians and like cheering at the videos of like the dead Russians and stuff. It's like, those are still people. And even though their lead guy has turned full dictator, and I don't know what happened to him at COVID, if he's like got some sort of dementia, but he went full nuts and just decided to go full like imperialist instead of just like kind of keeping his like cards close to his chest where he's like, I'm a dictator, but I'm not. He was like, because Putin to this point had always been like, I'm the elected leader, even though he poisoned like the his rivals and stuff. He was still technically elected. Now he's like just full on dictator. So I don't know what happened to him.
Well, I think he's also testing the waters a bit to just see like, what are they gonna let me get away with? Like, how much of the Ukraine can I take before somebody else? And like right now, nobody else has really gotten involved to this point beyond like
Turkey
giving. Well, are they deploying troops?
Those drones that shot a Russian convoy, Turkey has claimed responsibility for it.
Damn.
So Turkey used their drones to shoot a convoy, which is crazy because Turkey used to like be Russia's homeboy. That's the only actual, but does that still count as just giving Ukraine weapons? Because Canada sent weapons. Finland said they're going to.
We're all providing like military and humanitarian aid, but no one's actually like stepped up and put boots on the ground yet. So
yeah, because boots on the ground is like the threshold for this being a war. Like right now, it's just like Eastern European war. We're like, well, it's the same thing as Bosnia and Serbia. It's not that big deal. But as soon as like a different country puts boots on the ground, then it's like world war, and then it's just. But the other thing is nobody's on Russia's side except for Belarus, but they didn't really have a choice. But like China's renounced them. India was kind of like saying they wanted to get around the sanctions because they needed fertilizer and stuff. But like all of Russia's other allies are kind of just like taking a step back and be like, yeah, we're not cool with this. Like China at first was like, these sanctions are too harsh. But then they're like, yeah, we're cutting ties with China. And Germany was like, at first they were like, maybe we shouldn't go too hard with these sanctions because Germany is like super like economically in bed with Russia and they get like all their oil and shit from them. But now they're like, yeah, we're done. Just sanction the fuck out of them.
Which I
But
kind of,
oh yeah, no, sorry, go ahead.
well, I kind of got into it with people today because I'm like, you look at fucking, there's a lot of countries out there that have just been like annihilated by sanctions, and it's never the fucking leader that suffers. Like they can still, especially in, you know, a leader like Putin, he's not going to give a fuck. He's corrupt as shit, so he's just gonna keep living the good life while people in his own country starve and die. And you look at like countries like Venezuela or Cuba or fuck, there's like an incredible list of them there. The people have just lived in poverty. Syria is another one. Iran, where people have like lived in poverty, and they actually find that like economic sanctions have a really dramatic effect on human rights and basically like health and happiness of the citizens more than anything else. So I think people were just kind of looking for a way to wield these sanctions against Russia, and fucking Putin gave them the opportunity for it. And like, okay, so the West spends the next couple decades starving out Russian citizens and taking away everything that they built up. And then, you know, if Putin's playing the long game, that's easy enough to start really like recruiting some radicalized people after that, like people who've been radicalized against the West. So I don't really fucking understand what his end game is here. But I do know that like, yeah, the Russian people are going to suffer probably more than anyone. Well, not more than the Ukrainians, but
sorry, I'm just looking for a specific tweet of, well, it's like the Kiev Independent, which is this like Twitter handle. I think it's like a newspaper in Kiev. I started following them and they said they're going to actually start sanctioning directly the oligarchs in Russia and start freezing their assets. Like Japan announced that they're freezing all of like Russian like super wealthy leaders and stuff. They're going to start freezing their assets that are in Japan and stuff. And I think Canada might have said the same thing, but I've been reading so much of the news, it's just kind of all blending together.
Kudos to you for doing that, because
like a good thing that I was actually listening to, because it's like there's so much like political stuff and history. Like people tell you like whoever you talk to has a different like thing of what's been happening before this between Russia and the Ukraine. But a good rundown of what was actually happening was there's a show, Crystal Kyle and Friends, and they're like it's a political podcast, so they kind of talk through like what's going on and stuff. But they were saying, because a lot of people are saying that they're kind of like, the other thing that annoys me, I keep just like backtracking, but like Derek,
keep telling me what annoys you, Dale.
One of the things that annoys me online is how people are saying, they're doing that thing where they're like, yeah, Putin's wrong for doing this, but it's like this person's fault for doing this and that in the past. And a lot of people are blaming NATO because NATO's trying to like Ukraine wanted to join NATO, but then Zelensky was like, all right, it's a pipe dream, it's never happening. So Putin kind of took this as like kind of his excuse to invade Ukraine, and people are like, oh yeah, he did that. But Putin also in his speech was talking about how he wants to return Russia to its former glory and get like
USSR, baby,
basically these imperial talks and stuff. So since Zelensky said that they're not really going to go into NATO, and Putin said all these other things, it's not real. You can't really blame NATO anymore, but they should have still said that Ukraine wasn't going to be part of NATO. Yeah. And then like how's it here? Let me ask you a question, Derek.
Okay,
what's
Dale?
More annoying? All those people on the right who said this would have never happened if Trump was still in ruling, or the people on the left who were like, if Hillary Clinton was ruling, this wouldn't happen.
Oh my God.
Which one of those 2 points is more annoying?
They're also fucking annoying. Actually, like everybody's take on this is like, there was a guy on Twitter who tweeted this thread, and he was like, here's like a super thread of people making the Ukraine invasion about whatever it is they're actually obsessed with. And like,
Oh yeah.
you've seen this from like there's like people being like, ah, fuck, you want to see real freedom? Look at the Ukrainians because Canadian truckers don't understand what actual freedom fighting is. And look at these people. And then you have like people making it about trans rights, or people making it about Joe Biden, or people making it about like nothing that it has anything to fucking do with at all. But they're just like, I can't take it. Like, I'm like, why do you have to make this? Why can't you just look at this and be like, oh, I'm going to learn about like why this is happening, instead of being, or like taking the extremely reductive view and being like, oh, this is happening because Putin's bad and Trump was bad and Trump and Putin were friends. And this is just proof of that. It's like, nobody's learning anything. Everyone's just fucking screaming opinions about things into the and like everyone who agrees with those people being like, yeah, I didn't like the Canadian convoy either, so I'm gonna fucking
or people who are like, yeah, this is a real fight for freedom convoy. It's like, well, actually, this is the end of the slippery slope that the freedom convoy was fighting against. So I guess that just kind of derails that whole argument. But at the same time, it's like, those are two entirely separate things. Yeah, stop
completely fucking
comparing
separate.
the two things to delegitimize one, because that just like saying the war in Ukraine is a good example of what actual dictatorship is. So the freedom convoy shouldn't have their chance to say their piece is cheapening the war in Ukraine, because you're like using it as this like cheap
What's the thing? Everyone's fucking just like, they're like, oh, war, an opportunity to make my point about something. I can't wait.
That's exactly true.
This is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
And it's just the dumbest bullshit you've ever seen in your entire life. And if you are trying to do that, like, shut the fuck up, man. You don't need to use the war in Ukraine to take swipes at people who are protesting fucking vaccine mandates in Canada. You can just like, you can have your opinion about the vaccine mandates, but the war is not a political tool for you to win internet points.
Yeah, not everything has to be attached to everything else.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I was gonna. Okay, I'll just bring it up. The other point that's been annoying me lately is like, everybody's like, did you know Zelensky was the same president that Donald Trump got impeached for withholding aid from? And then you're like, don't fucking open this can of worms, because then we're going to have to start talking about why Trump held aid from Zelensky, and nobody wants to talk about that.
Why is that, Dale?
Because of the laptop, Derek.
Why is it, Dale?
Because
tell me.
Trump
Tell me about it.
Was withholding aid from the Ukraine because he was like, I want to know what the fuck Joe Biden and his son were up to in the Ukraine. And we don't want to talk about that. Do we? That's a whole bunch of fucking good way to get us banned off the internet.
The other thing that's really interesting to me about all this, we're just swerving all over the place.
We're just getting right out of that. Thanks for dodging that pothole.
Is how many people in the United States, and this is just like a sign of where like political discussion in the US has ended up, because well, I muted myself there somehow. Maybe it was the internet doing it for me.
Got a little twitchy. What did you say? Did you say something bad?
When did I cut out?
You only cut out for like 2 words.
Fucking perfect. The people in the US right now who are basically saying like, I'd rather be in Russia. I think Putin's a better leader than Joe Biden. There are people, like a lot of people on the conservative side of things, who are saying this. And it really shows you how fucked they are in the US. Because
you could get someone to switch places with you very easily.
Super easily. And like, I encourage you, if you're saying this and if this is your take, like put your fucking rubles where your mouth is, and switch places with a Russian citizen, because I'm sure they're looking for a fucking way out right now.
Yeah.
And
the Russian citizens, the ones who are protesting this war and getting tossed the fuck in jail because Russians don't actually have the same rights you do in the United States. You want to go live there? I don't think you actually do. Also, it's again, is it still against the law to be gay there?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't go there.
Don't
They
go there.
put Pussy Riot in jail. They'll put you in jail too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing too was a beautiful thing that Zelensky did. Dude, how did Zelensky turn into my favorite world leader?
Everyone is so fucking horny for that guy right now. And I get it. He's like, it's hard to imagine other world leaders who would just be like, yeah, there's a fucking war. I'm getting invaded. I'm slapping on a fucking like I'm slapping on the outfit. I'm going out there, fucking front lines. Let's go. And like, I'm sure a lot of it is like a carefully staged photo op, but the guy's doing a really good job of like selling himself as
you want to know one of the reasons why he's so good at this? Because the man is an actor. So he's good at acting. He's like the Ukrainian Obama because he's like, you don't really know all the stuff he's doing behind there, but he's so eloquent and like good in front of the cameras. Like how he's like, oh, dude, when Biden was like, hey, do you want us to get you and your family out of there? And Zelensky was like, no, we need ammunition. I don't need a ride. And it was like, yeah. And the guy's like insisting on staying behind and fighting the war instead of getting out and stuff. He's like, I guess in like, what's it been, like 5 days or 6 days? He just became everybody's favorite.
Yeah, he's a fucking badass. Meanwhile, in the Western world, most of our leaders, like someone, drops a can next to the White House or fucking like Trudeau went into hiding because of the fucking truck protest. Like,
or like Ted Cruz, you get a little cold, so he just fucking runs away to wherever he went to.
Mexico?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what I was gonna say was Zelensky did a brilliant move, because remember back when we were talking about boots on the ground, how that would like just basically spark off a war. He did this thing where he's like, I'm granting temporary free visas for anybody who wants to join the International Legion and come fight for Ukraine. So basically, all these people who've been like, I'd go fight that war, blah, blah, blah. Well, now you can put up or shut up.
We should go.
I'd go.
I'd go.
Do you think they want a 42-year-old obese man fighting their war?
Like who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I get to drive a tank?
Yeah.
Actually,
probably.
From the videos I've seen online, they're pretty big targets, so I don't know if I'd want to drive a tank.
Especially with those Molotov cocktails. Oh, one more thing that fucking annoys me is people who are putting the Ukraine flag emoji, or like Dale, you had the perfect clap back to this, and it was making a Bitmoji of your own face shedding a tear in front of a Ukrainian flag, and I was like, "That's beautiful." And then the next evolution of that is all these fucking buildings around the world lighting up with blue and yellow lights, which like cool, I guess.
I mean, I get it. The blue is the thought and the yellow is prayers, and they're just fucking
just blasting them out there.
Did my part. I made my building 2 different colors.
Like
I fought the war.
It reminds me of that Jessel, and I keep referencing this, but like the Jessel bit where he's just like, don't forget about me. Don't forget about, because that's all it's like everyone fucking not shutting up about this, or these buildings. And I mean, I could see how it would be valuable to countries with large Ukrainian populations, because that's who is paying attention and noticing it, right? Like, I don't think the average Ukrainian right now is like, well, what fucking color is BC Place in Vancouver, BC? Like, they don't give a shit. They're in a war. They're in a war.
Yeah, and I was going to say, it's like this isn't something you need to spread awareness of. Like, usually you have to be like, hey, there's this plight that's going on, and we actually care about this. The whole world cares about this. Like, it's across the board. Everybody, well, except for Belarus, everybody's against Putin. Even Russia's against Putin. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, nobody's for this thing. Like, you don't have to like convince your own government to show solidarity with the Ukraine. We've already sent 3 different shipments of weapons to them. That's how you make the difference. You give those old ladies and little girls machine guns and fucking Stinger missiles. That's how you, yeah.
Tiny explosives they can hide in cabbage rolls and pierogies. Subterfuge.
Let's talk about the fucking heroes of this war already.
Me.
The viral heroes.
Me.
Which one's your favorite?
I mean, there was like, I don't know, there's, like I said, there's been lots of badassery. There is, or even just like general like hilarious dickishness. Like there was a guy just like driving down the road in the Ukraine and he sees a like Russian like tank platoon that's just run out of fuel. He like drives up and like shit talks him and then drives away. Or
or that guy who's like, I'll tow you back to the border.
Yeah. The Snake Island people, I think, who told the Russian warship famously to go fuck themselves.
I got
they're still alive, by the way. They didn't die.
I was just gonna say they're still
it's still fucking cool that they did that.
Just to tell them to go fuck themselves, and then the Russian ship was like, let's just capture them.
If someone asked me for my wallet without even showing a weapon, I would be like, here you go. Please take it. Don't hurt me. And they were just like, no, go fuck yourselves. Knowing it was a warship.
Like, it doesn't help that there's nothing in my wallet.
Yeah. I mean, that does help me.
You could tap my debit card for $100, maybe. That's about all you're getting from me. But my personal favorite hero is the Ghost of Kiev. Which
is that real? Because I thought
they
were also saying that like, well, footage that people tweeted of this is actually from a video game.
Well, the thing was, nobody has footage of it because when planes are fighting each other, they're way the fuck up in the sky and you can't record them with a video camera. So what people were doing were they were finding images and videos of the specific plane that he was flying and just posting that. But I don't know if it's real. I'm just going to pretend it's real because it's like badass.
That's right.
So on the first day of the invasion, this guy flying a plane supposedly shot down 6 Russian fighter jets in 24 hours, which is basically unheard of. Maybe the Red Baron did that in World War I or II. But they're saying that if this is true, this will be the first fighter ace of the 21st century. Because to become a fighter ace, you have to shoot down 5 people. Because apparently shooting just down 5 people in your whole dogfighting career is an ace accomplishment. And this guy did it in a day. So I'm just going to pretend it's true because it's good stuff. It's good propaganda. And then there's the seeds lady. Did you hear about her?
The sunflower seeds thing?
Yeah, where she told the guy to stick sunflower seeds in his pocket so that when he died, his blood and body would make flowers grow in the Ukraine soil. And then there's the Rambo Puppy.
I haven't heard this one, no.
So some Ukrainian soldiers who were just like, I don't know, they're in like some building or something, and they found like a street dog puppy on the outside. And he was just wandering around. So they took him in and made him like the unofficial mascot of their like platoon or something. And they named him Rambo because they're like, it's a tough name. Let's call him that. So he is one. Then there's cigarette landmine guy. Did you see that one?
I did not.
This one's kind of sketchy because the video doesn't end. It just kind of goes to black. So it's a video of this guy carrying a landmine off of a road, and he's like dirty smoking the whole time as he's carrying this land because he's Ukrainian, of course. So it's like shows him carrying a landmine, and it's like, here's the road. He goes on the road into the woods, and then he just kind of keeps walking, and then the video stops. So
did he die?
I don't know. I'm gonna say no. I hope not. But the video just cutting off is not a good sign. But smoking landmine guy, if you're still alive, God bless. If you're not,
you made Dale's listener of the week. Congrats.
I'm trying to think if there's more. I know there's probably more. The weird thing was all of these came out within 2 days, and I haven't heard any like other ones. I think like just like the ugliness of war is setting in.
Well, it's like there was also so much like misinformation. Like this whole thing has also shown how like incredibly gullible and easily duped we are
Yeah.
as social
Like
media
you and
users.
me personally?
You and me personally, yeah. But like also everyone else. Because like there were tons of clips that were like just published in the first 24 hours and like no hesitation. People were fucking like retweeting them and sharing them out. And then it started to come out afterwards and be like, oh, that's actually like 10 years old. Or one of my favorites was a lot of people freaking out over a Russian strike on Ukrainians. And then they did a little digging and they're like, oh, that was actually an Israel strike on Palestine,
Oh,
which
Jesus.
like everyone kept their mouth shut
Yikes.
because we don't
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
and also it's a good indication of how far along video game graphics have come, because some of the Ghost of
Preach.
Kiev videos were actually from some fucking airplane game. And then they had like they're just showing some of the like fighting videos and stuff, and those were actually just from video games.
I'm gonna upload some screen caps from Tony Hawk Pro Skater and be like, check out these kick flips I'm doing.
The sick blunt side, bro.
Fuck yeah. And
Yeah.
all right, we got anything else to say? Just like stop being dumb, everyone, please.
Yeah, please. If I'm sure, I don't know. Like everybody's like, the worst thing is the comparisons for me.
Yeah.
When people are like, "Oh, this is actual war," and it's like, read some history, because, like you said before, it's like people are just like showing how ignorant they are of history. And like I'm fairly new to being a history buff. I've only been like kind of looking into history for 2 or 3 years, and already I'm like, yeah, this is what happens in wars. Yeah, it's nothing new.
Yeah.
This isn't even new for Russia versus Ukraine, because if you
Not
want
even
to
remotely.
you want a little like make your heart melt, go look into the 1933 famine that Stalin did on Ukraine. It's no bueno.
They have a long and sordid history that I would
Mhm.
encourage many people to study up on instead of saying that this is just I don't
Yeah,
whatever
a
the fuck.
wild, crazy thing that happened out of nowhere.
This happened
There's
because
bad
the
blood there.
Russians have shunned wokeism and because they are big and manly and they need to take their man juices and spread them in another country.
This is the funny thing about wokeism is some countries just don't have time to be woke. They got to deal with their shit. Although Russia, I'm not going to defend that, because Russia needs to accept homosexuality as a way of life.
They need to accept a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about non-war stuff?
I want to talk about literally anything else. I don't care what it is, Dale.
Oh, I got something that's good.
Let's go.
Because this is like a little conspiracy thingy too.
Your favorite.
Remember how that picture from Epstein's house came online and it was Bill Clinton in a blue dress?
No. Oh, wait. Yes. The fucking bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah. So it turns out that the person who painted that dress came forward, and it wasn't like some Illuminati head nod to what was going on, and there wasn't any deep meaning. It was just her painting Bill Clinton in the blue dress from the Monica Lewinsky trial as a like social commentary of like, he did it and he's a bad person. Because she did that one, and she did one of George Bush playing with paper airplanes and Jenga towers to kind of like signify that he was like had something to do with that whole thing.
Which one?
I'm not
seeing the symbolism in this painting you're describing. What else could it be?
It's called War Games or something. Here, let me see. Let's see. I'm going to open image in a new tab. This is the George. I'm just going to post these in the comments. The George Bush one I just posted. And then I'm also going to post. Everybody's seen the Bill Clinton one, right?
I don't know if a lot of people travel in the same online circles that you do, so it might be worth assuming they have not.
Oh, it's wild because it's just like, because like what happened was in 2014, someone kind of looked into Epstein's big mansion, and right above the, like in the entranceway, there's this huge painting of Bill Clinton sitting in an armchair wearing a blue dress. And I just put it in the comments. If you're listening to this on audio after the fact, you can either Google Bill Clinton blue dress and you'll find it, or go watch the video on YouTube and it will be on the screen right now.
So does this mean that Clinton has been cleared of any involvement in the Epstein sex trafficking ring? In conspiracy circles, there is no legal.
Epstein bought this painting from the artist as a joke. Like, people were saying that Epstein had it made as a way to point the finger at Clinton, and it's sort of like some sort of like conspiracy breadcrumb thing. But I think the most likely story was that this artist painted it. Epstein saw it. He was a friend with Bill Clinton, so he bought it as a joke. As like, and it's also kind of like very bad taste, because if a friend of you, if you're like involved in this sex scandal and it ultimately ends up with you being impeached and like dragging your whole presidency through the mud, and then your friend buys a painting commemorating it as a joke, that's kind of bad taste.
No, Dale, I can tell you that if you ever ascended to the level of president of the United States of America, and then you blew up your presidency over a dumb fucking, it could be a sex scandal, it could be anything, I would roast you for that for the rest of your fucking life. I would never let up for a moment. If there was any art created commemorating your spectacular failure, I would buy it and hang it up probably above my bed so I could look at it while I made love to my wife every night, because that is what gets me off.
Okay, the fact that your wife would have to look at that picture while you make love to her makes it almost worth me getting to the presidency just to blow it up.
You're motivated now.
That's hilarious. Do you want to hear a different conspiracy about Bill Clinton?
We're here in Bill Clinton Conspiracy Street. Why not?
Some would say that both him and Hillary Clinton are homosexuals and they are each other's beards. And there's no legitimacy to this. And it's like nowadays it's not even that big of a scandal, because they're like, Bill Clinton was a homosexual. And now you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, remember back when
that would make him the first that would make him the first gay president, but not the first openly gay president, which what?
I was gonna say there's some fruity presidents in the
past. But you can't say fruity, Dale.
Oh yeah, I guess not.
Just say homosexual.
Yeah.
But that would still be like a win for the LGBTQ.
Yeah.
2+.
And they're saying that's why he like stuck a cigar in Monica Lewinsky's hoo-ha, was because he was a homosexual, and it was like,
what? That doesn't make sense at all.
It's a very weak conspiracy. And I just wanted to bring up.
Is that the whole point for it?
Clinton put a cigar inside of a woman, then smoked it, which would kind of make him the straightest human alive, because I'm not straight enough to smoke a cigar that was inside of a woman's hoo-ha.
I'm barely straight enough to just smoke a cigar.
Yeah, like, are we allowed to go into depth of why we wouldn't talk about that, or would that make us non-allies if we say that would make the whole Oval Office stink?
Dale, we're moving on. Could we talk about this noodle story, which fucking terrified the shit out of me?
You know what this reminded me of?
Who Among Us? What?
Remember Breadman?
No.
You and Aaron were like obsessed with this guy because you watched some like TV show / horror news story about this guy who like inhaled bread.
Oh, the mold spores.
Accident.
Yeah. I tell people about that all the time, and it ate half his face off. Yeah.
Yeah. This reminded me of that, because you and Aaron were like, as soon as bread went bad, you're like, you gotta throw it away. Don't
That's
you
the
know
scariest
about
thing.
bread,
Fucking,
man?
I just brought this up yesterday. Kate and I were cleaning, and there was like half of a lemon that had like decayed and was just like flaking like mold off of it. And I like held my breath. There was like powderized like aerosol mold all over my fucking kitchen, and I had to hold my breath because I'm like, if I breathe it in, it'll eat my face and I'll die. I got to see if I can find that story and post it in the comments. But
yeah, because that is nuts. That like I remember, and, like for a bit I was like, what if? And I was like, that's not gonna happen because if my face was gonna get eaten by mold, it would have already happened.
Here we go.
In my 20s,
man loses face due to toxic mold.
Oh really?
The man without a face. Oh, he died.
Man without a face.
Oh, he died in 2005.
Ah, that was so long ago.
Wow,
Man
that was
without
a long time. He lost.
What's the actual song of that? Hands Without a Face?
Well, I don't even
Billy
know what
Idol
you're trying to
song?
sing right now.
It's like
Toxic
Hands
mold.
Without a Face.
He had a prosthetic face.
Like Mel Gibson in that movie, Man Without a Face.
Victim of prolonged mold exposure that eventually cost him his face.
Oh, prolonged mold. Because see, when you guys were flipping out about it, you made it sound like he accidentally inhaled one little spore and it went in his face.
That could have been it. Maybe it just like lived in his face for a while. You don't know.
True.
You don't know.
It
ate the top half of his face. I thought it was the bottom half.
Oh, okay.
Question.
Which half of your face would you like to lose? And you can go either top half, bottom half, left or right.
If I lose, like if you lost like the left half of your mouth and tongue, would you still be able to talk? Because here's my thinking. You lose the top half of your face, you can't see anymore. You lose the bottom half of your face, you could. And as cool as that would be, you would still be fucking blind.
Okay.
The bottom half of your face, you can't speak anymore or taste. But if you only lose like, you have vision out of one eye, and I don't know how good you can talk with half a mouth.
Okay, let's up this antithetical, whatever. Let's make a little non-realistic thing. So it's like you lose half of the skin off your face, and the rest is like Two-Face off of Batman, where it's just like all mangled and like scarred and like you got burnt or something. Okay, it's like a burn, a very bad burn, but you still have your organs and your nose and your sense of smell and your teeth and stuff. Okay. Like it's not like just here you see the wall behind you. It's like just the skin's off.
Okay.
I would want to lose I'm trying to think of which way I face more. I probably want to lose half of my face, like either way.
Yeah, like Two-Face.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. And then you could get custom made outfits where like one half is like a very conservative business suit and one half is like this garish nightmare fucking like neon zebra print suit. Like
a mullet suit. You're like party on this side, business on this side. I like, one side's a zoot suit with animal print and the other side's just like a tuxedo.
Yeah, I'd do that for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely do the side because then you could be like fan of the opera. And even though I lambasted musicals and how much I hated them, there's a musical reference for you.
There is.
I'd be Phantom of the Opera and I just sing about how ugly I was all day, every day.
Yeah, and you could live in a fucking subterranean cavern.
Yeah. Here's a weird thing. There's 2 musicals of dudes just singing about how ugly they are. Phantom of the Opera and the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
What's the first? All right.
I mean, I've never seen either, and I'm assuming that's what they're about, is these people just singing about their physical inefficiencies or whatever.
I don't know if the Hunchback was actually the star of the Hunchback. Why are you making a face?
I just saw that picture of that article you posted.
Oh, that guy's face?
That is horrific.
Yeah, it ate like the top fucking half of his like it's just a hole. And then he got a prosthetic face and it was like this plate with eyes like in it that he could like just put over the hole. But that's what happens when you breathe in bread mold. And guess
How
what?
do I hide this?
Guess what? We've been talking about this for 20 minutes and we haven't talked about the noodles yet. So,
apparently, you can fucking die from eating noodles.
Leftover, if you have ever eaten leftover Chinese food, you could have died hours after eating leftovers from a restaurant. What?
Bit racist. What? Just gonna say.
Okay, Annie, I want to specify. It's just Chinese food in the story. It could be any food. But hours after eating leftovers from a restaurant, a 19-year-old was admitted to the hospital with multiple organ failures and later had both his legs and all of his fingers amputated.
Hey, another question.
Yes.
What's worse, your fingers or your legs? I'm going to say fingers.
What? No, legs.
Dude, you can't play video games with your legs.
You can't. Yeah, I 100% can play video games with my legs.
You can't type your manifesto with your legs.
I could. True. That thing is my entire reason for being. Yeah, no, I think I take the legs first. I give up my fingers before my legs. This guy unfortunately lost both because of eating Chinese food.
Yeah, and the worst part is they say the first symptom is a stiff neck. Now, if I ever eat anything and I get a stiff neck, I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna lose my legs. I'm gonna lose my hands and my legs. It's meningococcal purpura.
Oh, like meningitis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's like the neck thing. Oh, it's actually longer than that. It's meningococcal purpura fulminian disease.
We had a friend who died of this.
Yeah, Candice. What was her last name?
Candice Bytel. Also was a college student. I don't know what it was, but it was very, very
she had spinal meningitis.
And it was like same thing, total sudden onset organ failure. And now I'm thinking Chinese food.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about ho-hos again and how delicious that was and how you definitely got enough food left over? So
yeah, we should have died many times over from ho-hos. I just want to add.
So they were saying that this the condition is caused by this bacteria, and I think they're specifically saying it's when you don't refrigerate your noodles or your rice and you just leave it out overnight and then you heat it back up. So if you're going to have leftover rice or noodles, make sure you put it in the fridge or eat it cold. Because yeah, here, let me see.
Yeah, the bacteria produces a toxin when heated and left out too long. In 2008, a teenager died in his sleep after eating leftover pasta that wasn't refrigerated overnight.
Yeah, and they say his roommate who ate the first guy who died, his roommate ate it, but he only vomited. I don't know why. They said he vomited, but didn't have life-threatening diseases. But that's because he had his meningococcal vaccine and his booster. There you go. Vaccines save lives.
Vaccines work. Proof right there.
Do we have our meningococcal?
No, ours have definitely lapsed. I think they're probably not good for.
Is that one of the ones that you get when you're a kid? When we were kids, or is that one of these new ones like HPV?
Coccal vaccine. How long is it good for?
Is it one of those?
I don't know if we got it, man.
Maybe we should.
Oh, they're only effective for at least 2 years. So everyone who fucking is like,
there's so many vaccines to take.
Oh, we have to keep getting vaccines. This COVID vaccine is a scam. It's like, fucking pay attention to vaccines. Also, the ones you had when you were a kid probably aren't effective anymore.
Oh, I have to get more.
Yeah.
I didn't even get the full, because I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, we got all the MMRs and stuff, but we didn't get like the full extent of them. Like we got one shot and then it turned into a 2-shot vaccine.
We got full. I got 3 shots, I think. I got another booster when I was like 16 or something. 15 or 16. Oh.
I've had like 4 fucking of the other one that you get for metal. What's that one?
Metal?
If you step on metal or stuff, what the fuck's it
Tetanus?
called? Yeah, I've had like 4 tetanus shots.
Yeah, but
because
don't you
I
get
keep
those? That's more
fucking
of like, that's
cutting
not a
myself on
preventive
metal.
thing. That's you get that after you have
No, it's
potentially exposed
preventative,
yourself to
so you
tetanus.
don't get fucking lockjaw from tetanus. It's so you don't actually get tetanus from dirty metal.
Yeah, but you only get it after you've already shanked yourself with dirty metal.
Yeah, but you get a tetanus shot and it's supposed to protect you from dirty metal for 10 years. Or if you're like me, it's like they're like, well, let's see your punch card and how many times you've hurt yourself on dirty metal because it's all the fucking time, apparently. Yeah, so it's kind of preventative, but usually you don't get, like, they give you one in grade 9, I think. You get one, and then after that, like, if you get your hurt, they give you one after that.
You know what else is preventive?
What?
Putting your fucking leftovers in a fridge, idiot college students. What the fuck are you doing? You couldn't walk the 2 feet to the fridge, which every dorm has a refrigerator in it, isn't it? This was in.
They just said college student. I don't know.
Yeah,
if it was
like fucking you have a fridge. Probably, or you're in Massachusetts where it's cold enough where you could have just left the shit outside and it would have been fine. But no, you couldn't do that, and now you're dead because you were lazy.
Tisk. Or just eat it cold. If you leave it on the counter, don't heat it up. I'm not sure if that'll save you from meningococcal purpura, but it might. Do you want to talk about furries?
I mean, usually, yeah, but let's power through it because fuck all of this. I got to get back to doom scrolling the internet and reacting to people's Ukraine.
Okay, this is the last one because there is a sentence in this story that I found so fucking hilarious. And I'm going to ask you if I'm allowed to think this is hilarious or if this is just me being out of touch with PC culture.
Oh, wait, I saw this one. Yeah.
Okay. So, where was it? There's a sentence that said,
this was the guy for context.
A very small but vocal far-right contingency has long plagued the furry community. I was like, what?
So this was a guy who he opened fire on like a group of 4 or 5 women in Portland who were just like, basically they were I don't even know what the fuck they were doing, like directing traffic or something for a Portland protest. And then the cops tried to claim that there was like an armed shootout between this far right guy and these protesters, and they referred to this guy in a media story as a homeowner, implying he was protecting his own property against these like miscreants. And then people did a little bit more digging and they found that it was 4 unarmed women, one of whom was in a wheelchair. And this guy lived nowhere near this fucking protest. He drove down there with a gun specifically to antagonize and shoot people. So yeah, that's the story. And it turns out the guy was very active in the furry community. And yeah, I would learn the same thing as you reading through the story, is that there is, you wouldn't see the overlap there, but you know,
like you figure that far right people would look too down on furries to like get into that sort of situation. Or
well, but that's the thing with fucking far right? Like to them, it's everything is an affront to their pure bloodedness, as long as it isn't something that they themselves like. And if it is, they're willing to make concessions for it, right? Like that's basically extremism in a nutshell. Is I will fight these things except for things that I already agree with, and then I won't do that. What was this Furrsona?
Extremism?
Oh, fuck, I did it again. No. This is gonna go down in history as the worst pronunciation from an episode that you said licorice in.
I know. I was gonna say you're all up my ass about licorice and you're saying extremism. You still pronounce the E, even
what
though
was
it's
this
not
Persona, Dale? What was this fucking animal? His fucking animal.
Fuck, where was that?
Question.
Yes.
You had a Fursona where you're a sexy animal. What animal are you?
Bear. Always bear.
I see it. You answer that with zero hesitation.
Dude,
Are
I
you
was
active?
just thinking about this today in my car as I was driving home, because you know how saying the term spirit animal is cultural appropriation? For whatever
Yes,
reason,
I almost said it there and then I stopped myself.
for whatever reason, independent, before I even read this story, I was like, because I was thinking back to like Germanic tribes and stuff, and how like Rome had to, when Rome went to Britain, they were fighting like the indigenous people, which happened to be Germanic tribes and stuff. So I was like, and like Vikings and stuff, how they have all this like spiritual thoughts and stuff. And I was like thinking of a way to say the term spirit animal without using the term spirit animal.
Yes.
And I came up with like, oh fuck, what was it? It was
Furrsona.
like
Inside bear. What did I just do?
Did you just drop the mic?
Inside bear.
Inside bear that Derek just beats for a second. No, I was gonna say like emotional animal identity or something to that extent. Maybe I
Just
didn't
animal
solve this
identity, I think. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
which animalistic characteristics you would put on your own emotional identity. And for me, it's always been bear.
Yeah.
Like either a bear or a rhino or something. But since I'm in North America and bears are here, it's just like, because I feel like my personality or my characteristic traits resemble the bear the most of all the animals.
Yeah, you're very sleepy. Yeah. Yeah, if you were going to put these animal traits on yourself and then go fuck someone else who would also put animal traits on themselves, what animal traits would you pick for the fucking bear?
But all these people are foxes or wolves. You ever see like furries? They're never bears.
Always.
Or
no
like
one's ever a
whales
fucking like, you know what I would love to see? A dopey, sexy turtle. Just like a big old fucking sexy tortoise. Wait, I gotta do some Googling right now. Yeah, sorry, computer. Furrsona,
I got so
turtle.
distracted. I was trying to find this guy.
Oh shit! This is already immediately weird.
Are you looking at cartoons or people dressed up?
Look at this fucking picture. I don't know how to feel anymore. I'm putting it in the comments. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you sure you're ready?
Is it the one with the Ninja Turtles with the big hard green dick?
No, Lord, no.
Okay, that doesn't exist. Forget I brought that up.
What? Does that actually exist?
Have you never seen homoerotic Ninja Turtle art, Derek?
I cannot say that. Wait, why isn't it going in the fucking...
Oh, that's cute.
Did you see it?
It looks like a little alien girl. That wasn't what I was expecting at all. I was expecting something a lot more dirty than that.
No, I mean, there's some weird shit. I think all of this kind of makes me deeply uncomfortable. Wait,
okay, I gotta find that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I'm looking for this is what I would be. I think I'd be an otter.
Oh, nice.
Which is also my my gay archetype.
Yeah, I was gonna say mine's same with me for bear. What is safe search on? Why can't I find this?
It's better that way. It's better
Give
that
me
way, Dale.
the porno. TMNT
Matt.
porno. This is how I get on a list. Oh, what? Dude, there's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles porno parody.
What, like a full-length one?
Like a live action
Like a live action one?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I gotta see. Wait, I'm doing a Furrsona test while we're live on
There's
the
a
air.
Furrsona test?
You can
Please
take it.
do a Furrsona test.
Furrsona test. Let's go. Which animal can be your Furrsona? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Do you want to take it too? Here, you take it at the same time. Here, everyone in the comments on the Facebook thing. I'm hanging out extra late so that we can all do this together.
Yes.
I want to find out what everyone's Furrsona is.
Link.
So check it out. I'm starting. Do I consider myself to be more?
No, wait, it didn't show up. Oh, there it is. Okay. If you're in the comments or if you're listening to this, go to Pro. I'll put the link in the show notes.
Read the
I'll
URL.
put the link in the show notes.
Don't read the URL,
Okay,
Dale. Dear Lord.
People. Firstly, do you consider yourself to be more feminine, masculine, or neutral? What are you going with?
I went with Well, at first I went with neutral, but then I went with masculine because I want a masculine persona.
You got to be true to yourself, Derek. We got to find out which
All right, I'll go with neutral.
you got to find out which persona you would be, not fake internet Derek would be.
Fine, Dale. Fine.
Do you consider yourself to be an introvert or extrovert?
I'm 100% extrovert.
I feel like I'm an introvert, but I feel like I talk way too much to actually be an introvert. What do you think? Am I middle ground?
Yeah, I mean, it's all like, it isn't even how much you talk. It's like, do you feel more energized being around people? Like, if you had to recharge your batteries, would you do that by like going to a party or a social function, or would you do it staying at home playing video games?
Like recharge my batteries like I feel tired?
Like anything, you feel tired, or you don't feel like full, or you don't feel happy, or you don't feel satisfied. Do you get more to that like state of equilibrium by
like, I'd like to hang out with my friends.
Okay.
I don't want to go hang out with strangers. I'm gonna put middle ground because I like to stay home and play video games and charge my batteries.
Charge them up.
How do you often act new people? Aggressively and defensive until they seem cool enough to keep talking to. Aggressive and defensive. What does that mean?
Is that what you picked? Both?
I'm like,
aggressive
hey,
and defensive?
I'm not talking to you until you're cool enough.
Yeah, like angry and then standoffish until you have vetted that someone is cool enough.
I'm going to go slightly defensive, but still nice till I get to know them better. I was going to say shy and quiet, but it also says polite, and I'm usually
You are.
How often do you get out of the house? Does this count going to work?
I don't know. I think it was referring specifically to like socializing, and I gave a pre-COVID answer because
socializing?
Who the fuck is out of their house that much lately?
Does work count? Because if work doesn't count, it's like never.
Sure, work counts.
Okay, I'm gonna go every day night. No, I feel like, yeah, because I talk to people every day night. Yeah. How many friends would I say I have?
Would you say I'm slim or average now?
Like what part? Where are you? You're so far ahead of me.
Yeah, I'm on the last question. I'm about to find out my persona. What was the question?
Are you slim or?
Am I slim or average or even chubby? Because I have put on some weight.
No, you're slim.
I'm slim? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what I got.
You are skinny.
Fuck.
Otter?
No. Fucking the gray wolf.
Oh, sexy.
Yeah, but that's why everyone ends up being wolves, probably because they take all this test. They all take this test. And it tells them all they're a wolf. Okay, hurry up and get your results. I want to find out.
Do I collect anything? Well, you skipped ahead while I was letting the listeners.
Well, you were talking endlessly. Yes.
Yeah.
Just that's my wolf energy coming through. I wait for no one.
I have some models and statues, so I'm going to say I collect those. Oh fuck! Who doesn't like technology? Is that even a question?
Yeah, but the way it's phrased, it's like, it's either like, I'm like common, or like, I want to learn more about hacking, and it's like,
yeah.
When did they come up with this quiz? Like
they're like, I can't get past my lock screen, or I'm the guy from Hackers who had sex with Angelina Jolie. Oh yeah, I see. I'm pretty interested in the idea of hacking and learning some more complex computer talk. I'm not interested in hacking because that just sounds like typing. Religious views? There's I believe in God. I believe in God, but there's probably God. My mind is open to anything. Open your mind. Remember that?
Open your mind.
What's your favorite color?
Mine?
Yeah.
Are you legitimately asking, or?
Yeah, I'm legitimately asking you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna cheat off you, Derek.
Like navy blue, royal blue, but it wasn't an option, so I did navy blue. I did dark
hot
blue.
Pink's also not on there, so I'm picking yellow.
Bullshit.
Oh, no, I think I like yellow more than pink. Oh, remember how we always talk about how I started liking things to be obnoxious?
Ironic, yeah.
That's hot pink for me.
That's a great example. Right
Because I
there.
worked at this video store and I kept doing like we used to have to call people on their landlines. Yeah, yellow and pink. We had to call people on their landlines when they had late movies. And then we had this list that you'd have to check off and write stuff, like if you left a message or not. And I'd always do it in hot pink pen because one of the dudes hated it.
And
then it just turned into me like.
And now it's your entire personality.
It's half of it. How big are you? I don't mean height. Would you say rather chubby or massive? God damn.
No. Massive?
I am legally obese.
Massive though?
Yeah, massive,
Dale?
comma, goddamn. Well, I'm no Lizzo, so maybe like Adele.
Yeah.
So I'll put rather chubby. View my results.
Bear?
I'm going to fucking burn down the internet.
What'd you get?
This is the worst
What'd you
bullshit. I don't even want to say.
Grey Wolf.
No.
What'd you get?
Think of the worst possible animal I could have gotten.
I don't. A pig.
A domestic house cat. How is that even an option? Yeah, my Furrsona is a house cat. Fuck. I mean, I shit in a box. Come on.
You lick yourself routinely. It's
well, I try to.
You drink milk out of a saucer.
Wear a bell. My God, did Matt do it? What in the comments?
Matt said he got domesticated dog.
Oh,
Lorna got a red fox.
Oh,
so
everybody got a better one than me.
Lorna and I are wild, and you and Matt are both domesticated. Yeah,
that's just because me and Matt are the most sophisticated of everybody who took the test.
Sure, let's say that.
Easily the two most obnoxious in public people involved in this whole
I bet at least 50% of the people who just took that test unironically get into furryism now.
I mean, I was on the fence, but if I have to be a house cat, I'm definitely not being a furry.
You're checked out. I'm
gonna go back and retake the test until I get there.
Okay.
I'm not doing that.
Just go with massive next time. Maybe that was your downfall.
Yeah, then I'd probably be like, I can't believe I got domestic house cat. I'm shook from this.
Hey, internet, thanks for joining us on this wild ride through fucking furries in the Ukraine and whatever else we talked about. I've been your co-host.
Derek
Mullen.
one thing I want to say.
Dale.
If everybody wants to make a difference for this war in Ukraine, contact your local streaming provider and demand Servant of the People. That is the sitcom that Baronet, or what's his name again? I just forgot it. The president, Zelensky. That's the sitcom he was in for 3 seasons. And guess what the plot of that was? He was a teacher who became the Ukrainian president out of like some weird mishap. And then after that show was done, he became the actual president. Oh, you know what else he was? The Ukrainian voice of Paddington Bear.
Oh, I did know that. Yeah. It's pretty awesome. I was going to say, if anyone actually wants to end this war, head on over to patreon.com/outragefactory. And if you donate $5 to us, we will change our logo to blue and yellow, the colors of the Ukrainian flag, and really make a difference in ending this thing for the Ukrainian people.
I mean, I'd go into the Illustrator file and change the color for $5. It's pretty easy. I think I have a blue and yellow logo of some sort. I must.
Anyway, you can follow me on Twitter at Herder. Don't follow me. I fucking hate it there.
We were talking
Twitter.
about how much
Twitter
Derek
so
hates Twitter. Dude,
fucking much. And I just can't.
It must be so much worse for you because it's like, it's when you like fart all day in a room and then you go to the store and you come back and your room smells like farts. That's you in Twitter because you left for a month and came back. So now you're just like getting all the Twitter fart smell. Whereas I just like, I never went to the store. I'm sitting in it and I'm like, does this room stink?
It's honestly fucking hell. Like, I don't know how anyone.
Do you want to do what I did and sign up for Getter GETTR?
No, I don't.
Because that's where all the
I don't want to do that.
alt-right and incels went
I
when they
don't
got
wanna-
scrubbed off
I would
Twitter.
rather have everyone take a fat shit on me every time I say anything, anything at all. It's like, fuck you, you fucking idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. It's like, yeah, that's like one of the hallmarks of this website. Dale, what
Okay.
about you? Where can people find you?
On Twitter, you could follow me at SuperDalebot. You could follow the podcast Outrage Fact Pod. You could follow me on Getter at
Don't
Dalebot.
go, don't get Getter.
I
Don't.
just got to say, Alex Jones is on there,
Mm-mm.
and he's just as entertaining as when he left.
He's a piece of shit. Don't listen to him. Hey, if
Yeah,
you like the podcast,
I'm not defending the guy. I'm
If
just
you-
saying, listening to him yell about conspiracies.
if you like our podcast, please go to the podcast place where you get your podcasts and say nice things about our podcast, and maybe give us like 5 stars and then say some nice words about us, especially how
Yes.
handsome and charming we are.
Because if you actually write a review, it tricks the algorithm into thinking we're more popular than we are. Also, even if you just listen to us every week, just follow us or subscribe to us, because
Yeah,
that
subscribe.
also tricks the algorithm. Into
If you're
giving
watching us
some
on Facebook
love.
right now, like the old Facebook page, and then you'll get notified. If you're not listening to us on Facebook, go to Facebook anyway. I know it's a
Yeah.
website for old people and conspiracy theorists and people who are mostly insane.
I mean, who
but-
else you want to talk to? All the young, annoying people on Twitter?
Yeah. Oh, look at me. Look at me. I'm so well dressed and I have my life together. Guess what? You'll never own a home, fucking idiot. Neither will we.
No, we won't.
But thanks as always for joining us. And until next week,
Stay angry.